They say it can take 30 days to break a habit or make a habit. And for me, lockdown was that period of time that really created, I suppose, the habit of running. I'd run on and off for a couple of years, but never really anything that serious or that consistent. And at the start of 2020, I set myself an annual target of about 800k to do for the year. But by the end of February, I was behind on that already. Not massively, but still behind. And lockdown really gave me the motivation to really get into running. I normally go out to the mountains to get away for a bit of headspace, and with 2 small children trapped in a house, running became my escape. That's what I did to get a bit of headspace, to get outside and to get away from the madness of COVID as it was at the time. In 2020 I'd done a handful of 30k runs. I'd done the local Knaresborough round. Start of 21 I did the Harrogate Ringway, again 30 kilometres. But in 2021 I started to up those distances and up the ascent. I did the Yorkshire 3 Peaks. I think I did that in about 5 hours. That's 40 kilometres and about 1500 metres of ascent. I did a variation on the Ennerdale skyline, so again another 30-35 kilometres and probably about 2000 metres of ascent. But I was definitely getting towards that target for 2021 in terms of distance. But I got to a point in the year where I wanted to set myself a harder target. I wanted to do a marathon, I wanted to do an ultramarathon, but I set myself a challenge, something that would push me and motivate me to the end of the year. So the challenge I set myself was basically a race against the sun. I got the idea from Trail magazine, a walking magazine from a couple of years ago, and they'd done something called the Lyke Wake Walk, which is a route across the North Yorkshire Moors. So it starts in Osmotherley and it finishes overlooking Ravenscar on the coast. And they did it as a walk, and I think they did it setting off at sunset and aiming to get to the finish before sunrise on the shortest day of the year. I thought I'd do the opposite of that. I thought I would attempt to set off at sunrise and get to the finish by sunset, and that's 42 miles and probably about 7 hours. When I came up with the idea of the challenge, I thought that was probably just about doable. I've no idea how long it would take me to do 42 miles, what pace I would average over that time, but kind of as a gut feeling as to my level of fitness and achievability, I thought that was probably, it was a challenge, it would stretch me, it would push me, but it was probably there or thereabouts. So yeah, that's the challenge that I've set myself. Do the Lyke Wake Walk on the shortest day of the year.
You going to talk to a video?
So what is it, 8:20, 8:21, setting off in a minute. No idea how it's going to go, but here I am, nearly ready. What's the time? Are you going?
Good luck!
That was it. I was off. My adventure was underway and the race against the sun had begun. 64 kilometres and 7.5 hours of running were ahead of me if I was to beat the sun. There was no sunrise to set me off, just a typical atmospheric foggy morning. Exactly the type of conditions that I associate with the moors. It seemed to fit my sense of anticipation. These conditions were not to last though.
First glance at the sun. I didn't think I'd be seeing it till later with the fog and the mist, but it's somewhere over there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's my nemesis for the day. So that's me at 11-12k in. I've not actually looked what pace I'm doing yet, but I suspect I'm probably a little bit behind, but I was always expecting to be behind on this first section. The first quarter, the first third, it was about 3/4 of the ascent. Maybe 2/3, but 5 pretty big climbs that taken it out of me. Then the next stretch is pretty much a half marathon downhill, so that should allow me to catch up the time a little bit. It's probably not helped stopping to take quite so many pictures. This weather is stunning. It's nice and warm above the clouds and freezing when you go into it. You won't be able to make it out down there, but there's a Brocken Spectre. Yeah, better weather than I could really have imagined or hoped for. These ups are hard though. There's no running on the downs. It's yeah, horrible terrain to run. Yeah. Push on.
So 0.5 degrees C. It is cold. It is misty and we can't see a thing. And here comes Dan out of the cloud. Well done, Dan. Do you want anything? It is 10:05, spot on. It's a lot easier now. You were very quick along the top. You were very quick along the top. Okay, well done. See you top of Lakey Bank.
Yeah,
good luck. Enjoy yourself.
Bye.
Bye.
So that's me gone past the first checkpoint, probably about 17k, 18k maybe, something like that. Annoyingly, I forgot to pick up any electrolytes, which I meant to do, but hopefully that won't be too problematic. I can get them at the next stretch. I'm just on the last of the big ups up to Round Hill, and then after that hopefully it should be a good long stretch of downhill, just gentle downhill, which I'm hoping I can pick up the speed on. I think I got into that checkpoint at about 10:05, which probably puts me 6 or 7 minutes behind pace, but that's not too bad at this point. Now running on footpath, and I think it followed an old railway track for a bit, so I'm hoping that should be fairly good terrain to run on. But yeah, carrying a few niggles. So I'm sure it'll be a battle soon to get out of my own head. Again, I don't know if the GoPro will pick that up, but there's a fog bow behind me. Fog bow? Like a rainbow but fog. But yeah, wow. What an absolutely stunning day. So I'm 27k in. I'm struggling more than I should be at this point. Don't know if the run I did last week was a little bit hard, too close to this. DMV on Wednesday really didn't help, or just too much in my own head. And running with other people, you don't focus on that as much. That first 15k though, 1,000 metres of ascent, well maybe not quite that much, but 700-800 still, that's hard going on the legs. I'm suffering for it now. I think I can see the Red Lion Inn, the Red Lion pub, something like that, on Blakey Ridge, which is pretty close to where the next checkpoint is. I might stop and rest for a few minutes, see what that does for the legs. I've managed to catch up a bit of time, I think. I'm now pretty much bang on pace. Although I think at this point it would have been nicer to have been a bit ahead, given how good this track has been to run on. Very flat, well, gentle undulations, but for the most part flat, good surface, and still got absolutely stunning conditions. Fog and the mist still down in the valleys, and just beautiful up here. But yeah, finding it hard going.
Well done.
This should have been one of my strongest legs of the whole run. Great running conditions, it was cool but with a warm sun and very little wind, a stunning old railway line to run on with only gentle undulations, and still early enough in the run to feel strong. However, the ascent from the first leg had sucked my energy levels coming into checkpoint 2, and I was really struggling, much more than I should have been at this point. Although I caught up on time and was now on pace, the voice in my head was getting to me, and I was really considering if I had it in me to complete the race. I wasn't even halfway, and I'd probably run the easiest section of the whole run. I had less ascent to go, but much further than I'd already run and on worse footpaths. However, I decided I couldn't throw in the towel yet and had to push on to the next checkpoint, and at that point I'd reassess where I was.
So probably, I don't know, 35k in, something like that. I've just on the stretch on the road from Blakey Ridge up to top of Rosedale, I think, or wherever it comes off. I actually missed the footpath off. Watch beeps at me, and luckily I kind of noticed fairly quickly without going too far past it. But yeah, I've had excellent trails up until this point, and then suddenly this is completely unrunnable. Going in up to my shins every other step. Boggy, 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 boggy. Before I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to do this. My legs are really tired, I'm really tired. My stomach's a bit gippy, but I stretched on the road, got half decent time, and started to feel a bit better, listened to a bit of music, and now I've come onto this, and actually I'm feeling a bit better because I'm going so slowly, but I think this will obliterate the chances of beating the sun. This is just going to take too much. It's just going to take too long. Besides that, it's found a little bit that I can run on now for a few hundred metres. But saving grace, maybe it's slowing me down and giving me something else to focus on. Might encourage me to go a bit further than I was feeling a little while back. sun's really starting to get a bit lower in the sky. This stretch is definitely been a damn sight easier than the last one. Probably going a lot slower, and although much more technical underfoot, it's much softer, much less impact. I'm going much slower. Start of this, I sort of thought I wouldn't make the time, and that release of pressure to be doing a set pace and to be pushing myself, it's definitely made it easier. Now I've gone quicker on here than I thought I might do. I've not looked at my watch to see how close I am to time. I'm just going to carry on without the pressure for a while, and when I get to the checkpoint, if I'm on time or within reach, I might start pushing again, but for now I'm just enjoying running in this. It's not a breath of wind. Lovely, lovely running conditions. But yeah, I think there's a reasonable chance I'll be finishing in the dark, but we're finishing, which I definitely didn't think I'd be doing earlier on. The thing that is you miss when you're just using your watch to navigate is I love looking at maps, looking at all those areas around me. So in all honesty, I don't really have a clue where I am at the moment. I'm following a line until I hit a road. I think I'm going to hit a railway line before I hit a road, but I don't really know. I think I'm probably a bit near Goathland. There's a chance that it's off over there. But when you're walking, you've got the map out, you can study it and see what's around you. And looking at the map for this beforehand, you see how much history there is all around. Ancient history, like Bronze Age monuments and burial mounds and the like. I have no idea what I'm passing through. There's a mound I ran over a way back. It didn't look natural. I suspect that was something, but I've no idea. And then I think I've just caught a glimpse of Fylingdales. Not quite sure what the name is. I think it's something to do with the RAF in the distance. That's disappeared behind a hill now. But yeah. I doubt the GoPro picked that up, but I'm just coming to a little stream, and there were a couple of deer in there that have just run off. Yeah. Oh, bog. I can hear cars in the distance, which will be the main road. Oh, probably not far till the checkpoint.
Welcome to Fen Bog Nature Reserve. About 32 miles into Dan's run. Look out for adders and small pearl bordered fritillaries. In this kind of fog you won't see a great deal. But you can hear a train. That is the North Yorkshire Railway line, the steam train. Let's walk and see if we can see it, because we know that Dan has to cross the line. Maybe that beep was for him. Well done.
How much further is it to the car?
It's less than a mile. You go down over the railway line. It's a very busy road.
There's a battery in the bottom of the bag and a little felt bag.
Just throw it in there, I'll sort it. Yeah.
That's me on the final stretch now. GoPro's given up. Not quite sure what's happened with it, whether it's a dodgy battery or it's too cold for it. I'm going to be running in the dark, although running might be a bit of a stretch. I'm going to be finishing in the dark. Hopefully not by too much, but very, very atmospheric finish. Absolutely stunning. But yeah. So I'm not sure how much filming I'll get to do on this bit on my phone. It's a pain in the arse having to get this out. Yeah. Less than 10k to go now. Don't know how long till sunset. Half an hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. We shall see. Hopefully it's not fully dark by the time I finish. But onwards!
The first couple of kms on the final stretch were again boggy and pathless. However, the route then found a really good path that ran all the way to the finish, and I actually recorded my fastest kilometres during this stretch. If the GoPro had been working, it wouldn't have done the conditions justice. Although the sun was/had set, it never really went dark. The sky was on fire behind me, and all across the horizon I could still see the cloud inversion that had persisted all day, while a huge full moon sat in a deep velvet sky directly over the finish line, drawing me in.
It's just gone 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The most extraordinary atmospheric conditions I have seen for many a year. Cloud inversions, hard frost, beautiful skies, beautiful moon. The light is simply superb. And Dan is coming to the end of an extraordinary mile run. Any minute now, so we hope, he's going to come up this path, and he only has to go to the trig point or the aerial, one or the other, and he's finished the Lyke Wake Walk. Fantastic, Dan. There. Woohoo! Well done. Wow. What incredible light. It is absolutely fantastic.